it always felt like before. Godsent was they would just get some players who had a lot of sort of brand value, people like Flusher, Crims, and so on, like getting some of the Fnatic names, and sort of they were part of the Swedish shuffle, and it never felt like they had their own sort of core. Obviously, it's Pronax's team, it's Schneider's team, but it still didn't feel. It felt like they were missing identity and they were missing a good core. And even if they don't have, let's say, a core of players who are very well known and very tenured, at least they'd have the chance to actually make something with this team now with these players. I think this is like a really good starting point. So and I like the talent that they have on the team. So it's just a question of getting some experience now.
What do you think the chances are versus the likes of Astralis?
I think they're probably still very low. But yesterday, I think I got off onto a wrong foot with the new lineup because obviously they just came back from WSG, so they're a little bit jet lagged. And that's going to be not the best version of themselves. But overall, I think their problem is still going to be probably leadership. I think in classic Swedish kind of pug lineups almost, where all these guys are just amazing up-and-coming players that would play on mixes, and they've finally joined together. They've always had this very, very loose play style, and I think that might be a problem for them when they go up against some more seasoned teams.
Inferno and Mirage are going to be the two matches that Godsent are going to have versus Astralis. Maybe it'll be Astralis that you see at our LAN finals. Those are going to be in London, coming up in just a few months. Tickets are available now at wembley.csgoleague.com. Those are coming up in June, so if you are able to make it, definitely do. It's always crazy in London, and that should be a hell of a lot of fun. And for those of you who can only join online, make sure your FACEIT account is connected to your YouTube account, and then you can win some drops. There'll be drops throughout the league. We gave quite a few away tomorrow. There'll be lots more today and lots more day after that as well. So again, if you've got a FACEIT account, which you should have, go to faceit.com. Go to integrations and your settings, and you can link that to your YouTube account, and then you can be eligible for drops. But make sure you're watching on gaming.youtube.com/FACEIT, as that is specifically where the drops happen. So Astralis and Godsent Astralis versus Godsent on Inferno as the first match. If they are going to have a puggy style, I think Inferno might be helpful to them in that respect.
I think that as long as they understand the protocols for just like the map control, then they don't have to have a full execute. So I agree with that. But if you forget to throw your flashes, or you don't understand your Molotov orders, or you don't have a few different ways to attack B control, then I think that you'll fall to Astralis, who would be great on the T side in response to them on the CT, and we'll be able to take banana from them very easily. So I think there's some coordination still with the map control, but I agree when they get to the sites, they can do some pretty basic stuff and still win, like really explosive B pops, or just rushing through halls trying to get their opening kill and so on.
So one team that didn't manage to qualify this season was Na'Vi. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen the rumors that Simple and Flamey might be joining Fallen Fur and Cold Zero in SK.
That just sounds ridiculous.
What in the blazes? To me, I just thought like Power Rangers, when all the Zords come together and make the big ass dude with a sword.
I don't know if that can be a thing though, because like
it's just Marvel Infinity Avengers is the most ambitious crossover of all time.
I don't know where that meme has come from, but I don't get it.
I don't either.
Really. I just keep seeing pictures on my Twitter. I'm like, when is this going to end? Anyway, what do you think of this?
I don't think this can be a thing. I don't think it makes sense. Kind of defeats the whole Brazilian, band of brothers type thing that they have going on.
What would be the core of Brazilians left over?
Fallen Fur and Cold Zero.
It's a pretty good core.
It's a pretty good core, but still, like, I still feel like it doesn't make. Like, why would you do it?
I think the Team Brazil is a very strong identity of the team, and that would be lost. But I suppose they just want to win everything.
It's fair enough, I suppose.
Yeah, and that's one of the cool things about things like FPL is that all the non-English speakers will get much better, like Counter-Strike English, if you will, especially all playing together. So that is quite curious. I wonder how long, assuming that Simple and Flamey would go to North America. I mean, there's no real indication as to which way they would go, but assuming that way, I wonder how long they'd be happy.
Happy?
That far away from home.
I mean, Simple once went on vacation and didn't come back, like Dennis. Remember when he left the Liquid House to go to Ukraine? I mean, the whole press angle of it was that he left, went to Ukraine for vacation, and then said he got homesick and didn't want to come back. I don't know if it was planned beforehand, but that's what happened on Liquid.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's interesting stuff. I think it would be a really sick team though. And
I don't know, man. I'm really not convinced though.
Why?
Because it's kind of just like these guys have loads of skill. Let's put them with other guys who've got loads of skill. We've got a great team. It's more complicated than that, surely. Like, I mean,
I think so.
Well, I think you oversimplified it because they've still got the in-game leader in Fallen. They've got the core of their team, so they can slot the other 2 players in. So it's not like 5 players randomly coming together.
I think that is true. That is the point of core, so that if you do re-sleeve a couple of players, that they're not completely out of place. Or you have to like relearn the whole game with them. But then there's still roles on every map that they have to hope that they fit into. Otherwise, they have to change those. Then it's like Simple is going to be opping over Fallen, so we would find out how well Fallen will adapt to changing his game completely.
Is he though? Simple's a fantastic rifler as well. I wouldn't say that's a guarantee.
Sure. I mean, I bet I would feel like if I had Simple, I would let him op. I think it's very hard to op in IGL in the first place, so I'm already amazed that.
Well, some people say that they prefer to op in IGL. It's easier.
Yeah, a lot of people do, but most people don't do it right. I would say Fallen's one of the only people who actually has an impact, and it's also an opper should probably be a star player. So if you're gonna IGL op, you have to also be like a really great IGL star player opper, and then.
Is that where you feel like most people go wrong and they just play too passively or something, or with
feel
the
like
AWP?
I feel like you can't play passively.
You have to be the stars at the same time.
Yeah, so the way I describe Fallen's op style is that whenever you're coming out of somewhere looking for him, he's 30 degrees wider already, and he's very aggressive. He's very unpredictable for that reason, but he's always putting himself in positions where if he misses a shot, he dies. So he has to be extremely focused. His concentration is actually incredible because all the while he's aware of what his teammates are doing and calling.
Yeah, but you've got Cold Zero for the mid-round calls as well. So it's not just Fallen doing the whole job.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think it would be dangerous waters for anybody not on that team. So we also hear that Hen1 and Lucas1 got kicked from NTC.
Yeah.
Which I mean.
I can't even follow their movements.
It's insane, isn't it?
I've never seen them play. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I just want to see. I'm so sad. I just wanted to see them play some Counter-Strike. With KNG in there as well. I don't care about all the Twitter drama. I just want to see Counter-Strike, man. What's going on? They came second in that major. Now it is just like in a tumble dryer. I don't know what else to say. It's just like they got the colours with whites. Everything's gone wrong. It's just a mess. It's just a mess out there, man. I just want to see some CS:GO. Also, I see. I've made it to the top of Reddit again.
Oh yeah,
I need to watch
yes,
that.
the amazing spray transfer clip.
One of my do you what you want? For some reason, I don't even know what happened. I just messed it up.
I mean, that's happened to everybody.
Maybe I should have killed
happens to you a lot though.
first.
I saw some more clips.
But it's really annoying when you want to just one-tap somebody because you've got 2 people in front of you. But the person just keeps moving a little bit. It just becomes difficult, and then just
let me ask you a question. Do you feel like you fight with your mouse when it comes to aiming, or do you feel like you just get unlucky? Because I think one of the hardest things to do and most important things is to feel like you're supposed to hit your shot. Like when you come around a corner, you should feel like this will be my kill. But sometimes it feels like you're hoping your aim works out the way it should.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't realize
maybe turn out the volume. Anyway, no, I wouldn't say I have that kind of weird mentality. Although
that's not weird. I feel like I had it for a long time. Just couldn't find your right sensitivity, or just didn't feel completely comfortable with your aim to the point that you knew you would get kills. Like if you came around a corner, this is the kill. You just get it.
No, I didn't think that. To be honest, I don't know what happened there. I just had a brain fart. I don't know if I was tired or what, but it didn't go very well. However, that's 30 seconds, man. I was streaming for 7 hours that day, and that's 30 seconds of streaming.
You get some clips.
So I don't care. I can take it. That's the thing. I'm like Batman. When he's like, I killed those people. In the second film, he just takes the L for everybody else. Me, man. I'm there.
You're Batman.
I can do it.
Did you get some clips?
I got a city on my back, Launders.
Were there some 4Ks we missed?
There were probably some 4Ks. Yeah. Doing a thing with the AWP. I'm an AWP guy. So it's all good, man. I tried to get a game in before we actually started the show, but it was getting a bit close. Hopping in the Mythic League on FACEIT. Speaking of the hubs, we're waiting for Godsent at the moment. Speaking of the hubs, make sure you get involved. make sure you get involved. There is the European one. There's a lot of different national hubs. There's the Benelux one of the most recent to launch, with Chris J behind it, amongst others. There's a Swedish Pro League with JW behind it, the Dust2 DK Pro League as well, the Norwegian Pro League with Rubino behind it, German Pro League, the Germans. I think that's a new one as well, for me at least. Space Soldiers, the UK circuit. I'll be in the UK circuit next week again.
So with all these European leagues, do you just need to speak the language?
No, you need to be in the country for most of them.
You have to be
physically in the country.
So for the ping and then also the language, or is it all in English?
Well, they'll be in their local languages. And why is the Czech one going to be speaking English?
I don't know why the Czech one would be speaking English.
Me neither. I don't know either. There's a Czech Pro League as well. That's pretty sick, man.
I like how they have Benelux.
Like, how many Benelux players are there? Because I know Chris J is leading the hub, right?
Well, that's one of all the more reason to have a Benelux hub, to develop more players. And what is cool about these as well, especially in Europe, is that because there are so many different countries, I think it's really going to help have teams at different levels like come together with players meeting each other and so on and getting on. So I think that's great, man. It's great for Europe. It's great for the world.
I think it's like Luxembourg only has like 200,000 people or something, or less than that. It's like a super small country. I often forget about it, just in general.
I'm not even sure if I've been to Luxembourg.
Yeah, I don't think I have. I definitely haven't. It's very small. It'd be quite cool. We should go on we have an excursion there. Do some filming.
How do you know I haven't been to Luxembourg? I could have been to Luxembourg. I traveled.
I just know you haven't. I know, but why would you? What reason would you have to be in Luxembourg? All the way from Canada.
CS:GO there, James. That'd be great.
Probably have sights to see.
Yeah.
Interesting people. Chris J.
He's not in Luxembourg though.
You never know.
Good, but well done for trying. All right, we delayed in our first match. We're going to go to a break, and then when we're back, we're going to have some Counter-Strike for you. So we'll see you back here, hopefully, in a few minutes.
So James, just got an email from FACEIT headquarters, and apparently there's loads of new merchandise from ECS, and they want us to make a promotional video.
Not about that life, Dan. I made a stone of stuff. You know, it's not all about getting paid. I think that's really sad. Hey, kid.
Me?
Yes, you. How would you like to win some FACEIT points?
FACEIT points? What are those?
FACEIT points are points you can collect playing on FACEIT or watching ECS. You can redeem those points to get items such as new skins, hardware, computer chairs, or a new car.
A new car? That sounds like the bee's knees.
It sure is, Timmy. Now run on home and start earning those points. Heya, Billy.
Well, holy mackerel, mister, you scared the jeepers out of me.
How would you like to win some FACEIT points?
FACEIT points? I sure would.
Well, just make sure you connect your YouTube account and FACEIT account and you'll be right as rain.
Can I earn them without linking accounts?
No can do, Billy. You'll have to link both accounts, but don't worry, linking them is easy as pie.
Gee willikers, mister, thanks.
No problem, Billy.
This season of ECS, we are giving away 30 million FACEIT points, so make sure your YouTube account is connected to your FACEIT account.
I just wanna feel like this forever. I love it when my feet don't touch the ground, touch the ground. Don't wanna let these colors fade, kaleidoscopes inside my head. Just wanna feel like this, just wanna feel like this forever. touch the ground. Don't wanna let these colors fade, kaleidoscopes inside my head. Just wanna feel like this, just wanna feel like this forever.
Welcome back. It's finally time for Astralis versus Godsent, Inferno and Mirage. Two nice explosive maps. I'm looking forward to this. I'm hoping to, I mean, we're seeing 4 Godsent games today, so while we've seen great things from Astralis so far, they've been looked really strong in the games they've had in this league since the opening. With 4 Godsent games, I think we're going to see a lot of where they are at the moment, the roles they're playing and how they kind of fit together at present. So that's going to be really curious. Astralis starting on the T side will have 2 players with lots of utility, Glaive and Device. 2 HEs in a pistol round. You don't see that every day, especially from a T side. So let's see where those will be deployed. One has been thrown already. Device still has his, but there are duels to have, which has a higher priority. Hamper's taken down, top and under. There's a second one for Twist. So the usual angles. Twist though still gets the 1 tap.
Yeah, and Hampus' position there seems that's very common. I think we see that a lot in the meta at the moment, where you just stick 1 player there. Either it's sort of like you're baiting, and there's like 2 players already just waiting on the site, and you want to like use that position to get kills, and then, or if you die, then encourage them into the stack. Or you don't do that. It's just like where the meta is right now, I think. Pretty nice shooting from Freddy B though to stop Astralis, who now have been discovered in their effort to re-enter this B bomb site, but they cannot do it. Got to hit the shots. Freddy B denies them.
Pretty fantastic round from Freddy. Just get the 4 kills right there. And Hampus had everything going for him on that peak. I mean, they missed the nade, didn't do much damage, and the supporting flashes were fantastic. He got so many shots off, but didn't get any kills. But good thing Freddy was there.
Manning Jr.
Astralis.
Sorry,
Manning Jr.
He won 1,000 FACEIT points.
What if he's related to Chelsea Manning? 4 CZs and a Deagle on Device. Glaive with a lot of grenades and no Kevlar. Pretty close, but not quite hitting the mark. Astralis making inroads towards the banana. Two players in B for the CT side. Just waiting. Godsent. Some pre-fire from Hampus, looking for some info, but not quite getting it. No one facing just yet. Here it's a pop flash over the roof, but Freddy B gets a kill regardless. Ooh. Astralis not committing after the first person, and Godsent will send a 3rd towards the B bomb site and a 4th, and there's more grenades from Astralis. This time they're going all the way.
Yeah, it's pretty tough though, but they'll try to brute force their way in. Actually working out here. Twist dives through the smoke, however, and with some precision. Precise work with the MP9. Gets a couple kills, so Zipex is the last man standing now. Plenty of time, but the desperation play through the smoke will not work out. And Godsent holding Astralis at bay pretty effectively. We saw just how strong Astralis' explosive play was yesterday, and so far they've been denied.
They did try to, they were explosive, it came close, there was a few trades, and it was twisted. If they just didn't keep jumping through the smoke, then maybe they get a bomb down, they get the after plant, but instead, Astralis aren't able to eco them. They do buy up one more time. This is kind of surprising. It's the round where you're supposed to full save, but I guess because it was a 1v1, they decided to take advantage of the fact that Godsent might buy SMGs.
Not a gamble, Jim. That's a nice double peek from Astralis. And Hampus will have to commit. 3 kills flying in for Astralis. So this is a big surprise for Godsent. They really weren't expecting that force buy. And now Astralis in position to capitalize on this. They've got the B bomb site open, although they are yet to take it. Trying to identify where these players are. Magic Boy has is suicided to find some information towards the A bomb site. But now that's where Astralis will head. Perhaps only one of their players being spotted there. They will expect Godsent to rotate towards the B bomb site. That gamble has not paid off. So they may have outsmarted or outthunk themselves, outthought to themselves. Thunk is not a word on this occasion.
It is today. Who'da thunk it? Device. Entertaining the possibility of a win in this round. That's a good way to start things off. One more player to go, but he does have a helmet. Brolin is looking mighty strong in this situation. A weakened Device trying to play as intelligently as he can, but is that plant going to do him favors? He is going to work his way around through Boiler. The smoke and the defuse. Brolin going for the hold. Device can't really get an angle on this in time. Very well played by Brolin there, just to go for the straight up defuse with the smoke. And crisis has been averted for the time being.
That was nice. It was almost a good rotate to go through halls. That would have locked it in if Brolin didn't have a smoke, obviously. But the plant forced Device to come out, so I'm not sure if he was fully aware of how far out he would have had to gone if someone decided to defuse from safe box. But either way, another 1v1 and another force up for Astralis. This time they don't spend all their money, so they've got head armor and they've afforded head armor these last 2 rounds in a row.
Yeah, still big issues here for Godsent with a push like this, although fortunately for the CT side there is a limitation on the grenades. There's a top flash, top mid pop flash, which won't do the job, but 1-for-1, a rifle picked up and now they've got numbers towards Arch. This may just work for Astralis. Dopplan having to hold down shorts, trying to get aggressive because he knows that Arch is compromised as well. He'll hold it down for the time being, is buying time for his team, but the bomb's going to go down again.
Ooh, I was about to say Glaive's position was quite nice, but it's Device to make it work with the Deagle so far. But we hard pressed to see a victory here from Device's perspective, and indeed he'll get taken down by Freddy B. And Astralis did some good damage. They've been keeping the economy fairly honest of Godsent, and now it is time for the AKs and the utility to come back out. But what will Godsent do? It would be cool to see Godsent going aggressive in this round. Maybe take Banana away from Astralis at the very least.
Well, Swedes, they can't sit still, so I think Astralis are gonna realize that as well.
That grenade just bounced off the balcony. The smoke grenade to bottom Banana, and I'm pretty sure it was deliberate as well. The double PE or HE grenade would have been glorious, but there isn't one for Astralis in this round.
I like that play from Zipex. He knew they were boosting in Boiler, so he presumed he could quickly get into position towards the balcony, but he was unfortunate in the end. 1-for-1 though, and Dupree goes down in top mid. That's the lurker gone. I wonder if that's going to be enough of a sign as to what's going on, although Godsent do have the information otherwise. 4v3, and the bomb still needs to go down here on B. Will be thrown across the Magisk. This is very, very tough here. Freddy B trying to capitalize on the fact that Magisk was planting, but he does get deflected.
Oh, that is a nice Molotov indeed, forcing them out of the dark corner. But they're still in front of the Molotov, and Brolan cannot advance in time to stop them from getting back into position. They'll just burst out and finish off the frags. Astralis on the scoreboard. And with all the damage they did in the previous rounds, you wonder what the situation will be for Godsent. Instant eco. That is where they are. There's a lot of small detail that we've seen in these rounds from Astralis and all the matches they've played so far, which has been really fun to see. I think it was Device who was hugging the CT wall, walking in front of B, and as soon as he got close to the CT entrance, they smoked it off so he could quickly advance towards the pool area before, with the CTs having limited time to react to any of that. Nice to see from Astralis. An exchange of grenades on Banana from 3 of the Astralis players, and Godsent will be forced back. And it looks like they've chosen to force buy with what they had.
Just keeping things quite chilled out for the time being. They do have a Mag-10 on Dupree, which does mean he can be sacrificed to get information. See, there's a stack somewhere, but Twist finding Glaive. Glaive just running out there by himself. No supports, no covering fire, nothing. No flashbang. Just running through the smoke, and he will fall victim to the CZ. That is not good for Astralis. They're actually in trouble at the moment. The AK is on Twist. And Godsent have 2 players playing retake on B at the moment. A 3rd player going towards B. Astralis are going to have a hard time here, perhaps.
Time to go to grenades, but will they commit behind it? They've got the personnel with which to do it, but they're waiting for questions to be asked, and maybe they'll let Dupree go further towards the A site and then rotate back, because there are 3 of the 4 CTs on the B bomb site, but they've lost personnel while this journey continues. Dupree was still biding his time in Boiler, and now it's about crisis recovery, if you will. Magic's Boy taking the safest route they think is available to them. And he'll be able to make it to the site. He's going for the short plant. You can see Brolan realizes this, and that is an easy frag for him. He's pretty low with the Mac 10 versus, well, one player with a helmet. So he could still do this. He could most certainly do this and make some money at the same time. Freddie B and Hampus, last two standing. No kit on these players. Freddie trying to run distraction while an AK is collected by Hampus. Dupree moving around, one more to go for the ace. No, he can't do it. Freddie B will prevail, 5-1 to Godsent.
The reset rounds hurts pretty bad. Astralis did kill 4 players and they got the bomb down as well. They could try something cheeky here, and it looks like they will. They will force buy and try to capitalize on the weakened economy of Godsent. And it makes a lot of sense. I mean, why not? I mean, if they waited 1 round, Godsent would recover a little bit, and the difference in weaponry wouldn't be too enormous. And if Astralis want to play a fast round, this should work just as well.
Looks like the early grenades are going to be effective. There's nothing really getting thrown back as well. Tons of times left on the clock, and they're already atop banana. On the low buy, this is going to be their golden ticket. So this Godsent decided to play far back in the site. Astralis can already work on A. They don't have to expel too much utility.
Grenades to perhaps take the top of mid, force the CTs back, but it'd be interesting to see what they do afterwards. We are at the minute 10 mark, so they could wait for these smokes to disappear, make more plays to try and take Arch away. There is a gap in that smoke, but I think it's doing its purpose, which is to smoke off the pit position. And Brolan will go in front of the smoke there, spread the joy with the Ube MP. Now it's down to 3-on-3, but he is surrounded. They do push from Arch at the same time. So strong when the teams are able to do that. Freddie B looking for the taps, but they'll not make it easy for him.
Another retake scenario, it seems, on A. Bomb hasn't been planted yet, though, so there's quite some time here for Godsent to make life annoying. And I don't know if the bomb can be spotted there by Hampus. No. Okay, it's around the corner. So they're wondering what's going on. And Hampus will go down. Freddie B in the 1v3 with the AK-47. Smoke grenade if you choose to use it as well, but it's going to need to be very, very precise with this AK. Perhaps that went a bit too deep, that smoke, and Freddie B is dead. So, Astralis back in it. They force buy and they're victorious, and money will be crippled for Godsent.
Wow. Really great start to that round as well, but then the immediate 2 trades back, and the site wrap was too strong. Astralis get to upgrade all their guns. And if they didn't do that on the force, it would have been Godsent to get to 7-8 rounds. So I think they recognize that now at bought up Eagles. It's a much weaker buy than what Astralis had last round, though.
Well, let's see if Astralis can hold out and avoid these meat shots.
Can a headshot be a meat shot?
No, I'd say a meat shot is like, for me, you can 2D someone. So those are the meat shots. The headshot is one and done, but the meat shots are just big heavy damage being done. Get a nice crouch peek in, 2D shots and out of here. It's annoying though when you try and go for that and you do like 96 damage, 98 damage, depending on where you hit them. Dig.
Godsent sitting 3 players on the B site. Astralis not committed to anything. Glaive. Mr. Inspector Glaive. Inspecting and fragging as well. But what will this tell them so far? Astralis did lose a lot of health on Glaive and they lost device as well, so it's definitely a world where Godsent can do something more in this round. Astralis seem to still not be 100% sure exactly where they're going to go just yet. They've got a minute to play with, so that's fair enough. In Godsent with 3 players, there's lots of different ways you can play that. You can either go aggressive somewhere, or you can try to stack somewhere. And Godsent are actually still staying spread out. Quite spread out, in fact. No one can actually play off of one another. One on the A side, one on Arch, one on B.
Ooh, the flashbang is pushing him towards the larger players. Seems that Astralis would probably assume that there's at least 2 players there. Person X has pop flashed person Y in. And then maybe now they're trying to pull those players towards A by... Ooh, again. Both teams seem to be in the matrix at the moment, but Freddy B, indeed he will be here on his own, and he'll be taken down quite easily, spamming through the smoke.
I actually like the level of detail that we're seeing from teams at the very top level when it comes to anti-force buys, because here, like we talked about this idea yesterday, the fact that when you're the force buying team, you have this feeling that you want to be very light on your feet. You want to rotate very quickly because you know that to win the rounds, you're very disadvantaged. But if you can get everybody in position to the side that the enemy will attack, then you're much more happy to gamble on that when you just have a force buy. So running fakes and so on, it will be much more effective at drawing rotation. So we are seeing a lot more of sort of fakes being thrown out by teams in the anti-force buy position, which I think is quite cool as a development to CS:GO.
Also, you can use like that Halls position that Dupree was in, because you can constantly pose this threat that you're extremely close to the bomb plant zone by being at the end of Halls, but you're also very hard to kill. You have so much cover. But all the while, you have these supporting smokes and flashes going out while your team is retreating to the other site. But you can pose this threat that, wow, there might be a lot more people in Halls, and even if this one guy comes out, we really want to kill him. So there's tons of incentive to stay around, while Dupree realizes he can stay alive.
So maybe now Astralis can play the catch-up game after lots of noble but failed attempts at the force buys, attempts to break the CT side. I don't know if Device saw some of that stack there on the radar, but the rest will be cleaned up with ease. I like the stack behind that pillar because if the T's throw grenades up top mid, it protects the CT from all of them. It protects them from about half the flashbangs unless they come over the left roof from the T's perspective. And if you're both there with no armor and a deagle, you're almost guaranteed to get at least 1 kill.
And when you fight, half your body's covered.
Yeah.
It's very strong.
Yeah, I love that position, so definitely need to check for it. When your opponent's on a force buy, you're on a T side. Well, both teams on the rifles now. Godsent maybe forced into some aggressive plays with their lack of utility. We shall see. They'll control top banana for the time being. 3 people towards A. Twist was in an aggressive position towards Arch. He's the main person they have keeping eyes on top mid. Avoids a flashbang. I don't think they were expecting that. Glaive just jumping around with his knife out. But there'll still be the man advantage here for Astralis.
Disco Plan in a very important position, looking to go and hold things down. He's doing a good job so far. He's got the smoke to aid him. And now he can play the waiting game. As his teammates come in and win the 1v1s that they're presented with, Dupree suddenly finds himself in a very hard situation.
I wonder if Glaive was just jumping quickly past the angle like somebody does in top mid to be the bait, to allow his team to pick up the frag if someone is there. Anyway, Dupree is left in 1 versus 3. 3 tagged players, playing the clock down. Do they have much of an idea as to where he is? Still carrying the bomb is Dupree. Taken down pretty swiftly though by Disco Doplan. Didn't need his teammates after all for that one. 6-4 for Godsent. Not having a terrible CT half, all things considered. See Glaive just jumping up there, so it did kind of look like he assumed nobody was there, because I feel like if he was trying to pull attention away, he would have just kept going forward as opposed to around the corner. But who knows?
So this time more commitment from Astralis towards Banana with the early grenades. And Device has an AWP in the smoke here. Pretty scary stuff. But the battle rages on. 3 players here from Godsent vying for banana control as well. There's lots of grenades, and with the sort of resistance they've found so far, definitely encouraged to keep the third player there.
Oh my god.
Not enough for Hampus.
They actually were just, I think they just wanted to sit back and didn't expect that re-aggression because they have a player in CT already wrapping. They could still technically kill these banana players and go B. Godsent have left Arch wide open, and it doesn't seem like they've let their teammates know. Oh my god, he came back to check.
The silence made his brain start to work. Dupree with the pre-fire now, but Hampus will eventually fall. Wasn't biting. 40 seconds remain, and you are surrounded, Dupree, which he probably assumes. How deep will Doppland go, though? He can play an off angle for now, as he is. Just containment. He should hear that reload, however. So he can tell his teammate Dupree's on banana. Does the smoke push Doppland? No, he's just going to wait. Easy headshot for Doppland.
What a round from Hampus.
Yeah, that was massive. I think, like, you know, that kill on the player, on the player sort of flanking, pretty impressive. Oh, sorry, that Zipex. Pretty impressive to win that 1v1 after all of that. If Zipex wins that fight, then they probably win the round, Astralis. Hampus definitely delivering. Always brave. Well, he also knows they won't have money for an AWP, so...
He's smart.
He's smart.
4-7. Glaive will be the utility man. Down to the CZ. Astralis, less of a fight on banana on this occasion. Godsent line wait on the site. So again, Astralis looking to push the CTs away from the top of banana. Job done. Dupree going for an information play, but this is not a full commitment here.
Oh.
Just trying to identify what exactly is going on. It's hard for somebody in the pit to see where Dupree is at this point, but his gun is sticking out a bit, and I think Doppland, surely that's come up on his radar at the very least, because his gun was sticking out.
Yeah, I think the push was timed perfectly as well with the crouching as well from Dupree. I think he avoided the spot from Graveyard completely. It's very smart. Ooh, twist! There's no way twist. Like, that must have been a flick or something. That's pretty nuts. Twist is a baller. And the push now has to come in onto the B-bomb side. There's nothing else left for Astralis to really do in this position. They've got to force the issue. Smokes all over the place, though, so it will not be a pretty entrance for them, as they will be able to Molotov their opponent backing away. The bomb can go down. Good cover from Zipex as well. A 2v2 after all said and done.
Quickly made into a 2v1. Doppland taken out, leaving Hampus alone, coming from the banana position. Spots one around the fountain. The taps are there. That leaves Zipex with very low health. Hampus has a smoke grenade, no Molotov or anything like that. An off angle from Zipex, though, will be enough. Won't get pre-fired in a position like that. Smart positioning from Zipex, all things considered. And that gives Astralis round number 5 and puts Godsent on eco once again.
I love the smokes that people throw on site, like in response to an execute. Like here, if he smoked the choke point out, they would have already been through it. It would have been useful. But if he throws a wall down in front of him, then he can continually use that just like he would the other smoke, except since it's right in front of him, he actually has a big advantage. And sometimes it's improvised how he uses it based on who's coming from where. But it makes it confusing for the terrorists to come in to figure out what's their course of action, because they aren't used to seeing a smoke in the middle of the site randomly.
Steel used to be really good at doing that in the Eye by Power days, dropping a smoke on Inferno B and just causing absolute mayhem for the T's. Hard to organize around a lack of information like that. And Doppland needed 2 kills there, only good for the 1 though. Leaving the last 2 Godsent players on the B bomb site. And again, it looks like another force buy from them. So it's catch-up time for Astralis.
I actually really thought Hampus would win that clutch on the previous round with the 1v1 with Zipex. Because I think Zipex had 18 health. And Hampus just like aiming just slightly too high on the first bullet. So the first bullet didn't connect. Otherwise, it would have gone the way of Godsent, and that would be pretty crazy because you might be looking at a 9-4 scoreline instead.
All the more credit to Zipex.
Absolutely, Astralis getting themselves back in the action. It feels like when we've watched Astralis recently, they're dominant and they win, but they don't seem to get good starts. Generally speaking, it feels like they have to fight against a bad start usually. And
you think bad start is a mental thing, or?
Like losing pistols and so on. I guess is what I'm referring to. Like having bad economy and so on. But so the scoreline looks to be closing in on a respectable position. 6 rounds for Astralis now, and that's going to be a great comfort for them as they look to get the full 8. 2 more rounds left in the half. Okay, what do we have in store for them? They will be aware that the money sucks for Godsent. Freddy B has the AK-47 though, so that could be fun. If they got the deagle on Brolin as well. Okay, so Freddy B will be elevated onto the pod roof, the porch roof. Those shingles there.
It's a nice little Reddit boost. It's a creative way to do it.
Will we see a burst?
The coveted Halls pop.
A flashbang over the roof from top mid. Looks like we will. Zipex flying out of nowhere, going for the full spray, going for the YouTube spray. Saw player with his knife out there. A noble attempt. Not a very good one, to be honest. Could offer some advice.
It seems like Astralis, and we've seen them do this like a bunch of times. They like to do the Halls pop on either rounds they think are low or low buys or anti-ecos.
So what you're saying is, if you're an eco against Astralis, get 3 HE grenades,
Stack
throw
halls.
them into the balcony.
Definitely, I think about that. Be like, hey, what are their few options on these anti-ecos? What do they like to do? And I would think, all right, might go halls. I personally try to avoid halls as a terrorist on an anti-eco, just because you're opening yourself up to kind of a fun house of angles that CZs love on the staircases and everything like that. But at the same time, it's easy to spam molly out, kind of for the same reasons.
Last round, Astralis putting some pressure on Banana, and this is the thing, it's like it makes a lot of sense because they know Godsent can't have much utility. You need the incendiaries, and that costs a lot of money on the CT side if you want to really challenge Banana correctly. So Astralis are aware that they can't do that, so it's just so free, and they know it. So they're going to be trying to work the contact with the AWP. A very strong way to open this up. At the same time, they have control of apartments. So everything is really, I mean, this really just tells you very clearly that without utility, this is very T-sided. Very T-sided.
Oh no. Freddy thought he jumped up on the coffin and missed.
That looks just really bad.
Yeah.
Well, that's unfortunate for Godsent, and it does not seem like they will be offering us much in this final round of the first half, but is 7 rounds going to be enough for them? Well, let's not count Hampus out just yet. However, the bomb is rotating towards the A bomb site. Does he realize this? I'm not sure if he does just yet. He is surrounded by 2 of these 3 players, but he's still getting the frags. Hampus looking for the ace, but Device will finally finish him off with Desert Eagle. 8-7 in favor of Astralis. Dupree topping the leaderboard at the moment with 16 kills. If you're Godsent, are you happy with that half?
I am, yeah, for sure. I think, you know, it's Astralis. Yesterday they were on fire. I mean, it seems like Godsent are rested up at this point. They feel good. And as you mentioned, it could have been a much worse half. If Astralis didn't eco them that one round, it would have been like 8-5.
They weathered many storms as well early from the Astralis force buys, which many of them could have gone the right way for Astralis.
Like us on our way to work today.
Indeed.
Ooh.
That's a lovely one from Device, but not overcommitting. He knows more are there, but doesn't want to go back to the well one too many times. He'll reset the situation, keep them guessing, and sit on the current advantage they have. Pistol rounds can be very brittle, but these headshots just keep on coming from Astralis. There's a nice one tap from Doppler, but he needs more. P50 for extra range. Up close though, won't do the job this time.
It's a stalwart crossfire, Dan.
Yeah, it's really cool because we saw a device AWPing yesterday from top mid, and this means we're going to be much closer to that reality, and it was pretty spectacular. So looking forward to that. He'll be on the MP9 right now, so no, they'll be aware that no bomb went down, so they know that it's a force buy from Godsent. So we won't see too much aggression, perhaps not down middle at least, but Zipex with the deep smoke. And this is another thing as well. Like, it's very, from Godsent's perspective, they can expect the pre-nades down banana, which is why it allows Astralis to be quite aggressive on banana for the cost of very little grenades, because they know that Godsent will not, it's very unlikely Godsent will be barreling up that position at the early timings of the round.
I would be afraid to do that, yeah, for sure. If I was a T and I think, all right, they know we like to be aggressive, so we're just going to take 150 damage in nades, just running up banana, they'll probably fall back. Why not just wait for a few minutes, or wait for a few seconds, and then reaggress if we want to?
Yeah, and that's exactly what's happened in this case. Here they come. CZs. Oh god, the CZs are so dangerous. Oh my god. Oh my god.
That just suddenly came out of nowhere. It's like you minded your own business, and then like the guys from the estate across the road just came to rush you. Why are you not with your friends?
He made the CZ look like an AK-47. It's like long range. It's like, it felt like he died in like 2 bullets or something.
Twist from downtown.
Yeah, this is nuts.
What does Dupree choose to do? Half his health, choosing to run away. Was deliberating for a moment, maybe waiting to see if Godsent would go aggressive, give him an opportunity to take another player out, but he will have to turn tail and run.
Do you think if CTs buy CZs all 5 and Ts buy CZs all 5, the CTs win more often?
No, because probably not, because I feel like the CZ is really strong on the peak because of your movement speed, and obviously as a CTs you're going to be working defensively more often, so you're going to be holding angles more often. So, and I think the peaking will be superior with the CZ.
I think one issue also is that you have to guess on the CT side if you put more towards B or more towards A, because it's not going to be the easiest retake after you lose a site. So it's more problematic for the CTs in that respect.
But it also does go to show that previous round we were talking about, like, Astralis knew they could just run down banana because Godsent wouldn't rush it, and Godsent are giving them that space because they are scared of the pre-nades. And you said that you can just retake it. You can just wait and retake it, and that, we saw the power of that. But now it's time for Astralis to get their limited weaponry going, the pistols of their own, the CZs, the P250s. Oh, that's so sad for Dupree. That feels bad, doesn't it? That feels really bad. Didn't even shoot any bullets. Just gets shot in the face. Doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel just. Where's the justice?
2 down for Astralis. Make it 3. Dotplan found his way into CT spawn, which means there's nobody on the B bomb site, but they seem to still be focused on A. There's 40 seconds left, so don't want to overdo it here with the bomb. With more time, you could go for elimination, but I think at this point, oh, that's awkward. Brennan's chasing. That is a long reload of the CZ, so it will work out for the players. I see nothing wrong with going for elimination there. Time dependent.
That was strange, wasn't it, that they kept going A? There was a chance. I think he knew that because he saw someone trying to rotate back to B, that surely there's nobody else there, but they still won.
USPs in the flashback. What can you do with that?
I wonder.
Where's the flash?
I wonder if you were like in construction of B, if you could find an angle to throw it deep enough to the back of B side, so people, the CTs could face and the Ts would get blinded. Because that would be a cool flashbang. But I'm guessing you'd have to throw it high, and then the height would mean they were flashed for for a shorter amount of time. Although you could do it from construction. That would be cool. So if you threw a flash from construction which landed like above the roof, so you could double peek from like Shadow and a new box, assuming you hadn't been Molotov'd off, then you could do some nasty stuff on an eco round. Still opportunity for this to get nasty for a Godsent because Glaive has an M4 now. Dupree still got his Deagle. We've seen Dupree do many a nasty thing. There is the man himself. There he is. There he goes. Zipex and Glaive remain. Zipex, that is very novel. He's peppering.
Oh my god.
But Twist will be down to 1 HP. I think he went from 2 HP to 1 HP. And he killed his teammate. He's like, I got you, bro. He's like, no, get out of my way.
Band of Brothers. Glaive, he saw it, I think. He kind of knows. This Twist is still gonna... Oh, big yikes.
Oh my god.
Barely got away with that. Can I get a 1 in chat?
This worked really well. The single flashbang, the USPs.
He did.
He's so afraid. That's so funny.
He really just kept shooting him.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Just wanted to survive. I don't want to die. Do you ever have a teammate who just hides and does absolutely nothing because they've got like 10 HP? Between the two players, Device, very unlucky. But everybody's alive for now, although Zipex has dropped. Do they continue to aggress? They may expect a chance of 3 players early towards B bomb site. So they'll sit on that for the time being. Freddy looking for a potential rotation, trying to catch somebody off guard, out of position.
I think, did he... Why did he do that? He missed through the smoke but didn't throw it. Tried it again, failed, didn't throw it.
Maybe he's just baiting with a sound.
But why?
To draw a player up. Either way, he has been drawn out of this round by grenades. By way of grenades. Godsent looking for round number 11. 2 CTs coming from the library position. And as you can see, they can't afford it, Astralis. They don't got the cash. Lend me a pound.
Is that a saying?
Lend me a pound. It used to be back in the day. Lend me a pound.
Lend me. It's pretty cool. Godsent are actually doing a really good job in on Inferno right now on the T side. I did wonder, you know, how their T side would look, especially against, you know, an Astralis that won the pistol round. They started off well with the economy. Although that said, they didn't really start off super well because they didn't get force, like they did lose a force buy. So there is that. But regardless, I think Godsent are doing pretty well on the T side, keeping the AWP generally out of the hands of Device. Although that will change for this round finally for Astralis. I do wonder if they'll go and take something, you know, an aggressive peek with it. Twist has an AWP as well. Where do you want to see Device?
Where? Oh, he's got a front spawn. I mean, the way he's looking is like he's gonna go down halls. But you could very easily go for a mid pick here as well.
I think the halls would be quite cool. Then the apps push. Twist doesn't really have a good spawn for anything, so.
He has a good spawn for spawn.
Yeah, that's true. See that sick movement from Device. Bunny hops there? No? Okay. Oh, okay. It's going for the peak onto the middle.
Bench, maybe. Surely he doesn't go all the way down. That would be crazy.
No. Twist is waiting for it to... He actually tagged Twist.
You hit him, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of nuts.
That is just rude. Such a dangerous peak.
Yeah.
Oh, Zipex chose some poor timing, unfortunately. Maybe trying to make it towards that log's position. Sometimes you got to gamble. Sometimes the house wins. And Godsent is the house for this round. And now Device needs to try and hold on to his AWP. Freddy taken down pretty swiftly, but there is another lurker in Broland, but he can't really run to chase Device. He would give the game up. So he'll have to go to slow routes. And Device has legged it. He is shafting it all the way to B, which is still in possession. Was there a late smoke from Magisk? If there was, it may have forced Godsent away, but Brolan now on the A site will rotate, and Device is going back once again.
It's really smart by Godsent to do it this way. Lovely stuff there from them. Just the way that they timed everything was kind of perfect. Just as Brolan sees that it's clear, that's actually the exact moment where they have, they still have a good timing if they want to go B or not. And so, yeah, really nice the way everything worked out from a pacing perspective. Godsent looking pretty good, but they had to close the game out, and Astralis do have the full buy.
I'm kind of surprised that Device didn't go for something more aggressive, just because everyone else is pistoling. But it was a nice place from Brawlin to go and get that information. That's the stuff that's really hard to measure, like how much impact that has, but it saved his team from just a potential loss round, even without the kill.
Very fast possession of top mid from Godsent. They've been picked off as well. There's a fair amount of utility left for Godsent. They haven't taken it slow here. But they are being contained around Arch. That was dropped by Device. That smoke after missing his shots. Oh, not getting a fatal connection at least. Now Godsent charge up the banana position instead. Smoke down towards Arch, but there'll be one CT advancing through it, and that's some information which may speed up Godsent's advance towards B. So far, so good.
Huge entry there from Freddy B. Immediately dispatching Zipex. The push through the smoke, though. That could be costly. Bomb is only just going down now, and that risk did not pay off. But Freddy B, I think, through the smoke, able to take down Dupree. That's massive. And considering the amount of money that is being held by Astralis right now, they're definitely incentivized to go for a save in this position. Ooh, trying to steal away Orb's Device. Very smart stuff. We'll have to see whether or not he can stay alive here. Godsent moving to 13 rounds, and they are hunting with Disco Dopplan. He may find the player in apartments.
So it's like that roll safe meme. You don't have to be the best opper if you're the only opper.
Almost using it as baits towards the end there as well, but not able to hold the position. So Brolan will rescue the AWP. Device will hold on to his.
That's true. He didn't straight up throw it away. He just kind of put it a little bit farther back.
Yeah, I think it was probably too risky at that point to continue carrying them both away.
Man, that kill on Zipex is just so huge. Just while he was in transition and jumping onto the coffin, Freddy B swings out wide. And if he lives, you know, it's just those very few seconds that he could delay mattered so much.
Very nice.
Oh, wow.
Very
That's
nice.
A running one-way? Or wow, that's crazy. It's not necessarily a one-way if you have the proper perspective, but I think from anybody looking up Banana, it looks like a completely smoked out wall.
I think they're just not expecting a peak like that.
And also, I mean, all the pre-Molotovs from the tees, it extinguishes it immediately for that fast peak.
It's true.
Which in that Molotov is supposed to deny that fast peak.
That is really cool.
So you extinguish it with a gap. Yeah, that's a really sick play.
That might be enough to keep Astralis in the game. Because Godsent are getting pretty close to winning this match.
Yeah, that's true.
Was it Device actually? It reminds me, because that reminds me of the, you know, the smoke, or the Molotov people would throw on in the window on Mirage on the CT side to basically mess up the smoke into window.
So it lands on the back.
Yeah, and you still have a gap to AWP through. It kind of reminds me a little bit of that, where you sort of, because it's the same kind of idea. Like, you already know they're going to throw that grenade, so you've already prepared the counter to neutralize it before they can react, so you get the kill. So that's a really cool detail. Very cool stuff. And it makes a difference. 10 rounds now for Astralis, and they're 3 away from Godsent, who have been having a pretty good time. And yeah,
So
just how perfect that is.
Oh, that's sick. That
So
is really
perfect.
sick.
Nice.
Only at ECS.
Really nice grenade. I don't know who it was first doing the Mirage one, but I feel like Device definitely was one of the people showing it off as well.
Probably some eagle in matchmaking.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to credit stuff sometimes, isn't it? Because sometimes people have been doing stuff for a long time, but it's that one guy who does it in an important spot, actually popularizes it and gets the credit.
Yeah, other people can have the same idea and develop them individually.
It's not like Nikola Tesla or Benjamin. Who did the light
Was it
bulb?
light bulb? It was light bulb, wasn't it?
It was a light bulb, yeah.
What,
Yeah.
Nikola Tesla?
Well,
No, a few people invented light bulbs and just
Tesla did
individually.
Tesla did do light bulb.
AC currents or whatever.
Wasn't it Edison?
It was Edison, yeah. It was Edison with light bulb, I'm pretty sure.
One of the guys, one of the bros.
I think he stole
Anyway,
it.
we've got a push coming in towards the A site, although the T's are getting cut down, leaving Twist alone. This has been a pretty savage round, a very expensive one as well. That's a long time for him to try and save if that's what he's choosing. Otherwise, might be changing his approach, looking for an opportunity. One pit, one graveyard. Sorry, one site, one graveyard. Moving into the pit. Maybe he heard that. Very difficult to emerge from balcony with an AWP when you've got somebody in a pit. I think holding an off angle to boot, so Twist may be doomed here, although he may also be hiding in plain sight. Twist, a man who demands respect. 16 kills so far for him. He will slowly walk away. No sound cues though. Silently moving away so as to limit Astralis' hunt.
Are you Googling?
Yeah.
What does the Google say?
Thomas Edison, but there's some dispute.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah.
I suppose that sucks, you know.
I know there is like definitely some famous medicine scientists that actually stole their discoveries, but were credited with those discoveries.
Yeah, you know, Nicole, like Tesla's like 10 years of research in his building got burned down by another scientist.
Oh yeah.
You know, which is like totally against what science is all about, right? Just finding the truth.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Ooh, Twist out the angles. That was a close one. So that's peak from I think Cirque recently as well for NRG. More HE grenades fairly late in the game as well. In all directions, but no deaths just yet. Where will Astralis choose to hold banana from? Device here once again.
Oh.
So be completely blind. Almost, but not quite. Sometimes you might have a rifler on this yellow wall on the corner, avoiding the flashbang so he can pop out to field some defense, but on this occasion, no.
That was such a clean flash. The timing was great as well for the rifler moving forwards to catch Device, and it's important that they're not too afraid of Device or playing banana, because Astralis, we saw yesterday too how incredibly strong they were when they had these positions, and they play it very well. See, Godsent not afraid of that. They have the counter plays. Now trying to suggest it's a B play, and it might very well be.
40 seconds remain for this push. Glaive pre-firing some cheeky positions, and he's got the right idea, but here comes the push. There are some more flashbangs, however. One team making a play through to construction, but in the meantime, everybody at the front's getting cut down by Zipex, looking for an ace of Zipex, trying to pre-fire Twist and just kill some time as well. There goes Hampus, one more for Zipex to find Twist at the front of the site, and he's going to have to run away once again. 15 seconds for him.
He doesn't want to be in the clip.
I'm out. Screw you guys, I'm going home. Dupree to hunt. More about winning the round than prioritizing the ace. Do you ever have that guy in your team who says, let me ace? Because when I do, I tell him to shut up.
Shut up, says James.
There's the flash deployed by the man Zipex, enabling his own kills. He is self-sufficient.
We had a rule on our team to never let anybody ace. So if someone got 4 kills, we would all go on a hunt and shoot them in the legs.
Sounds like a fun team.
It was, because every ace was that much more impressive.
Right.
I mean, no one knew who watched the clip, but we were all actively working against them.
That is, come on. It's not fair. You can't even see it. It's through a wall.
It wasn't through a wall. It was through a door, and the door was open.
You made it seem like it was wide open, but it was just a pixel peek.
There isn't even a
small.
door there to open.
That's true. So you made that
So
up.
couldn't it be wider?
Except for the angle that he was taking, which was
It's
very...
his choice to walk down the stairs, man. Sometimes walking down a flight of stairs is walking a plank. You just don't know.
That's true.
13 rounds apiece as Godsent wait for their next buy to come in, and this will be the round. The AKs will be out once again. Twist is somewhat short, however. So we'll see what happens there. Cheeky pre-fire attempt from Freddy B.
That's awesome. I should do that more.
Shoot bullets through the wide open door.
Yeah.
You've got to have a smoke down though, on mid. And then you have to make sure your position is not where people might spray through the smoke. Be somewhere in the middle.
Or
Like Malcolm.
you have that show in the UK?
Yes, we do.
Do you think it's a UK show?
Look, there's a time and a place, Launders, and it's not right now. Okay, we can't dwell on the little quips. Otherwise, we'd be here all day.
Kind of are.
That is also correct. Shut up. 13 apiece, and Astralis are trying to take the lead here on their CT side, but it's got problems. Divides a crouching Broyan, avoids the shot. Not even one kill for him, but Magic's point, the spray transfer. He will take 2 of them out, 3 in total. And there's only Dotplan left now. The USP is out, spots him on site, but Dotplan says no. He's got the bomb moving through the smoke. Does he want to cut noise, though? He has to consider where these CTs might be. He's been heard by Zepex. Too many steps. Was trying to bail, trying to make a run for it. They know Zepex is a B player, so perhaps that was an oversight. And now what does he do? Seems that he knows his position may be compromised. Perhaps he heard Zepex as well. Glaive at bottom of mid. Just in case. Astralis currently playing for containment. As opposed to pushing. If they were to push and it went wrong, there would be a problem. But as time continues to get lower, Glaive knows the rotation is not likely and he can move up to top mid.
Oh.
There it is. Glaive's taken down now. Where is Zepex again? He knows he's a B player. Looking at the balcony position, but Zepex is coming from B, and it's a free kill. He made a guess, made a gamble, but it wasn't the right one.
Yeah.
That's a weird plant.
Yeah, the plant is super weird to me, yeah.
Because there's safe plant, but that's somewhere in the middle of both, the worst of both worlds.
Yeah.
Where it's not even open for you later in the after plant. Where like, if he was to walk to pit, it's not open for him. Even if graveyard is technically behind the box. So he could have just planted safe closer to pit and been safe from lane and arch. Yeah.
But maybe it was a miscommunication from someone in the team because he seemed convinced.
Yeah, I mean, he probably just. It seemed like he thought he had tons of time, like.
Or like he thought the other guy was.
Yeah, I don't know because I mean maybe it was based on the second last kill. I don't know.
It's just a very unsafe plan if you're expecting someone to come from arch side. So it seems like it must have been a miscall.
Or lane. It was open to lane as well, in between the box and the pillar.
Yeah, very strange. Missed opportunity, perhaps. I actually thought he was going to win that after getting that that kill. But it was a done deal. But
yeah.
That's for Godsent. Not quite. Device keeping the flicks going, keeping that monstrous presence alive on the banana area, and Godsent are walking or trying to walk into A, and they have lost the split potential here. They have to make the brute force play work. Hampers doing great damage, will allow a bomb to go down. A 2v3 after plan on A. Very fast round, but can they finish it? Ooh!
Brolin. 1v3. Oh, that's a big one. Now he knows there's no huge flank. He's still staying on the balcony, however, as the smoke comes up. They're going to be able to shoot him soon. I can't believe he's staying out here like this.
Yeah,
I mean, jumping
like
pit would have been better.
Seems they're afraid of the balcony, man. I think you think someone's in apps.
But he killed the guy in apps.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, mate.
Like after the apps kill, I think almost everyone's jumping into the pit afterwards.
I mean, maybe he's out there in case somebody goes for a gamble push through the smoke. He would be at a strong advantage, and then it didn't happen. Then suddenly, the advantage did not swing in his favor. Well, there it is. Godsent may wonder about some of these last rounds if they lose this. Now it's match point for Astralis, looking for the 7-0. May feel like it's partly been a gift.
Oh man!
That is some colossal grenade damage
my
on Molotov as well. So maybe not the beginning of the round that Godsent wanted, but we'll see how it plays out.
They have almost no health left.
Oh my god! Again, that's just not cool, is it? Really, like,
It feels like we've just been on Live League or something. It's like,
There's another one. They just added to it.
did they? Oh,
Yeah.
Freddy was the one with the most HP too.
Look how much lack of gold there is. Whatever color.
Oh my God, more.
Oh, it's doing a team kill as well. Oh no.
That's what you gotta do. You gotta soften the meat up before you start cutting it up.
Oh no. And honestly, like there's 2 clutches. There are lots of moments in this game where Godsent could definitely have won it. They set themselves up really well. They played a pretty good Inferno, but as you said, like they've definitely got to be thinking about some of those last clutches. Like that plant from Disco Dot plan seemed very strange. Like we really need to be really cool to know exactly why he made that decision. Seems odd. And then obviously like Frontline just staying up on the balcony well after the smokes are gone in a 1v2 just seems also very odd in 2 very winnable rounds. It's a shame.
It's a shame. But for Astralis, they are 2 for 3 in the season, so now they're at least evened up. They've got 3 wins. That's a really big deal for them, and this game could not have been closer. So that's at least a sigh of relief, I think, for Astralis.
Yeah, Astralis played pretty well. Again, they didn't really get off to the best of starts. It could have been worse, though. That's another thing to take into account. And Godsent, they did play pretty well. I liked how they handled a lot of their strats and tactics. It looked generally more organized than I expected. So props to them. And Hampus, still seeing some great stuff from him. And yeah, some great entries just all around. I'm fairly impressed by Godsent.
Yeah, frustrating end to the game, but there's lots more Godsent to come, so hopefully they can right the ship there and focus on what else there is today. And the next match is going to be Mirage between Astralis and Disco Doppler & Co. That's coming up after the break, so we will see you here in just a few minutes for match number 2 of ECS Europe.
Hello.